Alright guys, welcome back, Strafe here. Today we're going to do 9 stars on floor 11. That's right, we did floor 10 the other day, and this time we're moving on to floor 11, just mowing through the floors. So a very similar team to the first time with Venti, Klee, Fischl. This time we're bringing Jean instead of Barbara for the Animal Resonance with Venti. Second team is a level 1 CHONGYUN, believe it or not, because we need ice against those thunder shields later on. And then I'm going to take Xingqiu instead of Xiangling, just because he synergizes better with Razor. Because when you use Overload, the enemies just fly away from you. You don't really want that, it wastes your time. And you'll see later on, every second matters, especially towards the last chamber, which is the hardest one in my opinion. Chamber 1 is not too bad, just a bunch of slimes, so we can just group them up with Venti, throw out a bunch of AoE with Fischl, use Klee's mines, and just mop them up from there. Now moving on to the second half of part 1, this mage is going to be by herself, so the goal is to apply Superconduct on her as soon as possible. You can throw out Xingqiu's ultimate as well, so you get a bunch of hydro electricity procs and you can just tear through the enemy. Normally she was really tanky, but with all the debuffs on her and all the damage, she's going to fall pretty fast, and it's pretty simple from there on. Now after killing this last archer, the target should be the semi-mature mage over there, which I didn't go for initially. I changed my plan and went back to the mage because I realized I have no pyro damage. So if you bring a pyro user like Xiangling, maybe you can go for the abyss mage, but I think taking out the two semi-mature mages are better because they have so much disruption, they have healing. So just taking them out first and then you can work on the abyss mage. Alright, moving on to chamber 2. So this one's not bad because the entire chamber, there's no time limit, you can just take as long as you want. But we have to keep the defense value over 60%, so the way to do this is to target the archers on the side, the bomb throwing hilichurls. So Jean is really good, you can see we pushing the hilichurls away into Venti's ultimate, so we group them up. That way they can't attack the ley line, and it's very easy to group them up this way. So having the animal characters will really help you out in this wave.
Think you can get away? By royal decree.
Now for these last two big Hilichurls, I've noticed that sometimes they go for the monolith even if you're attacking them, so the way to stop that is to just get pretty close to them and dish out a lot of damage, and that way it takes the aggro. You can see the X guy is going for the monolith right now. So I get close, you start throwing out heavy attacks, you can disrupt him with the charge attack, and then he changes his focus to you eventually.
No rest for the wicked.
I swear by my sword. Yahoo! Yahoo!
Alright, moving on to stage 2, chamber 2. So the first part's not bad, there's 3 enemies there, but aggro is all on you as the player. There's only one archer that's targeting the monolith, but we can actually ignore him because his damage on the monolith is very, very weak. The big enemies are going to be doing a ton of damage to the monolith, so you gotta take them out ASAP. You'll see in the second part with the 2 big Hilichurls, they have to be the main focus, because if they hit the monolith, that's going to be a lot of damage taken.
Swift and merciful.
Just taking our time with this last guy, saving our abilities for the next part. Get Xingqiu's ultimate ready because we're going to need a lot of burst damage to kill these enemies fast before they kill the monolith. So you see once they spawn, we're going to go for the guy with the aura. Ignore the archers, there's 2 archers on the side, but again, their damage is very low. So we're going to take out these 2 big guys because I've left them alone before and they destroy the monolith HP. So we'll just rip through them with Super Conduct, and that will be it for this round.
No, my sword.
One with my book.
Okay, approaching chamber 3. This one's starting to heat up. We're going to take the boost, which is the physical damage. Whatever you guys have, you can take that one. So the main target is going to be the Ice Gunner because he does a lot of damage when you're close up. It's very annoying, and he throws out these prison traps, which get you. He's going to be the main target, so the way to do this is just throw out all your abilities on him. We're going to stick with Pyro because Pyro does the most damage here. Knock out his shield. Once he's on the floor, you can just get close and just knock him out. Okay, so when these last 2 enemies spawn, again, the target's going to be the Cryo Gunner because the Animal Boxer is just going to suck you guys in anyway, and he's going to follow you around, so we can just have him be collateral damage and go for the Ice Gunner instead.
Think you can get away?
Okay, finishing up at exactly a minute and a half, and you'll see it comes pretty close to the end. So a minute and a half in the first chamber gives us a minute and a half in the second chamber. This one's pretty hard because the Thunder Shield is pretty annoying, but we do have 2 cryo users to deal with that. The Thunder Shields take increased damage against ice, so if you bring a cryo user, even a level 1 CHONGYUN, like I'm showing off here, will be enough to shave the shield. So the goal is to apply Super Conduct, and then we go on to Razor, and we can rip through the enemies because this floor does have a bonus with Super Conduct. Now once these last 2 enemies spawn, the goal is to go for the Gunner instead, because Thunder Guy is just going to follow you around and do AoE attacks anyway, so we're going to change targets here and start going for the Gunner. And the goal is just to apply everything, water, ice, and electro, just to get as many reactions as you can. If you freeze them, you can shatter them for more damage, and it's just going to be a straight DPS race to the end here. I'm not going to be showing off the artifacts and stats this time. You guys can check out the last video I did yesterday for the stats and artifacts on the team. It's the same. As for Jean, she's pretty undergeared as well. She doesn't really have a full set. But thanks you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.